Taurus. I feel very frustrated in your energy. Very frustrated. I was guided to not even pull a couple cards and get the vibe, or to like write them down in my book like I normally do. Like I normally just like write down channeled messages here, get into your energy, do a little zen something. But there was this feeling of like, I need to do this. I need to have the experience with you, was kind of the feeling that I was getting. I'm probably going to use my obsidian here, and then I'm going to see if I can do some scrying and see what's going on. But I do feel like there's some frustration, and there is this moment or this energy that we need to share. I feel like it needs to kind of like unravel, so to speak, just together in this video. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to wing it. We're going to go with the flow. I know that also feels really weirdly counterintuitive for any Taurus or any earth sign. But what I'm gonna do is start here with Shaman's Dream, see if we can get a couple ideas of what's going on, get the vibe, and then I'll do some scrying, and then we can kind of just like go from there. But again, I really feel like there's this need to go with the flow with you. I feel like I'll get to this in a second. I feel like this energy of, like, it's like it feels like you have to tell me something. Like, it feels like you're like, I need to tell you something, but like, I'm gonna wait. And like, I'm gonna just call you and we're gonna like stay on the phone and like go through the whole thing. Or it feels like, oh, I'm gonna save this info, and then when we go out for lunch or dinner or whatever, then it's almost like you're saving something, like the bulk of something, to tell someone else. Or it's almost like you want to share this experience in this reading. There's something here about like savoring something, to be like, I'm gonna tell you this later because like it needs to be in person. Like, I feel like maybe something happened that is very jarring. I don't really feel like it's like crazy, like some shock or something, but it feels like it's something here that matters. That could mean anything for anyone I know, but it's something that matters to you, where it's like, this isn't something that you go, oh my God, this crazy thing happened to me today via text. It's like, I need to tell you about something that I have discovered. For some of you guys, I do feel like this is about yourself, something that you've discovered about yourself, but I feel like other people are involved, so you could have discovered something about yourself through other people, like through your experiences with other people or through a conversation you had with somebody else. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, it's so crazy. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it has a serious nature to it. So you have the root girl, the disowned self, and then you have horned cactus, resourcefulness, which is a really interesting energy to have right off the bat. I feel like something has triggered you. This isn't necessarily negative, but something has, it's almost like it's been awakened. The word I want to use is like, something happened and it roused something in you. Does that make sense? It roused something in you. And I feel like then you became this like, oh my God. That's what I'm feeling here. Ooh, I caught that one. Wandering between realms. You guys are in such a weird place right now. You guys could be, not only did it like rouse something in you, but you could be actively within this moment working through something. Straddling worlds, wandering between realms. You could actively in this moment be working through something. And that's maybe why it's like you need to talk to somebody in person, because you're almost like, I need you to walk me through this. Like, what does this look like to you? What does this feel like to you? It's almost like the power of community. You need other people to help you work through whatever is happening to you right now. Deep quiet on the bottom with meditation and stillness as well. Something, I feel like, it's like something is getting stuck. Something is getting stuck. You also have Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing, but in reverse at the bottom. Something feels like it's getting stuck. And that's why maybe you need help to figure out how to move forward, what to do. Like, it's almost like, what does this all mean? I feel like you're having this kind of like crisis moment. Something is happening that feels very unexpected, very out of the blue, just kind of like, I don't know how to describe this. Like, we're doing this together, apparently, Taurus, but like something is going on with you that you need to talk to somebody about. You really do. This is very interesting. Do I want to do... I actually don't know. Oh, you hear that? Felix, confirmation right there. As soon as I open this door, the cats go crazy. It's like, oh my god, I just picked up this deck because I feel really drawn to this, and you have Justice on the bottom. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that, actually. Something's happening to you. Something is happening to you, and you are on the precipice of something new emerging. Whether it's something coming into you or this new like version of you emerging, there's something brand new coming your way. Oh, wow. Yeah, Temperance. Temperance? Really? Justice and Temperance? I feel like something is... Ooh, wow. Wow. Justice, Temperance, and the Magician. Something very big is about to happen in your life. Very, very big. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. With King of Pentacles on the bottom, 10 of Wands. I'm hearing like you have like, oh my god, with the Hermit too at the bottom. I'm hearing like I killed myself to get to this point. Whatever thing that is happening to you, whatever is coming up, it's almost like what I'm hearing is like the result of something. You're like, I've been through hell and back. That's... Ignore the cats going crazy in the background. That's what it feels like. It's like, I've gone through hell and back. I've gone through hell and back. And something that is happening to you, it's almost like, even though it could potentially be a positive or something like good for you, it is giving this vibe of almost like, I'm glad this happened, but I'm so angry about it. I'm so angry about it. It's almost like this begrudging feeling. Like, especially with the way that the king looks here, it almost gives a sense of like showing off this power or this like ability here, right? But it's like, you know what I had to do to get this? That's the vibe I get from that. Do you know what I had to do to get this? Do you know what I had to do? Do you know what I had to sacrifice to get this? Do you know what I had to sacrifice to get this, to get here? It's almost like, I can't believe this is all coming together. This is the culmination of something happening. I'm telling you, the frustration like I was getting in the beginning is just like, oh my god, it's palpable in the air around me. It really is. It really is. With the Magician here, with Temperance, with Justice. I almost get this sense that you were looking for something for a really long time, especially because Justice is like placed atop this book. It's almost like you were looking for something for a really long time. You were trying to heal something, understand something, figure something out. You were trying to find something for a really long time. There is this just, oh my god, this feeling of like, finally, but like, I can't believe it happened like that. I think that there's a lot of energy of looking back. There's an energy of in retrospect, but it is so intense. Temperance and Justice to me says there's been so much energy and work on your part, whether it's been purposeful or not, whether you knew that like this lesson was happening, whether you knew that this thing was occurring in your life, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like it happened nonetheless. And I think that's where the hindsight comes in. That's where the retrospect comes in. Is that you're like, wow, worst time of my entire life. And after all those things that I've been through, and this last piece was like insane. And I feel like even though something was frustrating and made you angry and all these things, it's like, I hate that it makes sense. That's the vibe that I'm getting from this. I hate that that makes sense. I hate that. I hate that. Okay, you know what I think that I need to do here is finally do some scrying. So hold that thought. All right, how to get the cats to stop being crazy in the background. Man, it's like, I can't get over this energy. You have worked so hard to create something in your life, especially the Magician, the Ten of Wands, the King of Pentacles. Like, oh my God, right now. Felix still screaming in the background. So, all right, let's pause. Bear with me. We're gonna go quiet for a second. I'm just gonna kind of try to scry here and see like what's going on. Again, you'll just have to be entertained with the cats going crazy in the background. Spirit, please connect me to Taurus's energy for the collective here. Allowing me to step aside here. And allowing Spirit to move through me. I'm hearing around and around and around again. Around and around and around again. And then I'm hearing, it's always like this, isn't it? I'll have to do it again, and it'll happen again. There's this, what I'm hearing is like, it's morose. That's the word I want to use, it's morose. It tugs at your soul. I'm hearing it darkens your soul. And I think that's more symbolism for it removes a piece of you. And it's almost like you're allowing, I know the wording might be triggering for some of you guys. You are allowing certain things to happen to you. And how do I word this, Spirit? Give me a better way. These events that occur, whether there are situations that happen to you, whether it's because of other people, regardless of what is going on. God, the clearing. You're allowing these things or these people to take pieces of your soul when it's all said and done. If it's related to people, you are allowing people to take bits and pieces of you when they leave. And interesting the way I said when they leave, not if, but when. So it might be a belief that you have is that people leave. Things don't go. That's what I feel like is you guys are really down on yourselves right now. It's a very concrete way of thinking. This is always what happens. Round and around and around and around again. I'm hearing this song now, this like metal song. It's called Circle the Drain. I think it's the lyrics are something like, do we start over or circle the drain? This is what it, God. It hurts. And you guys may put on a really good face to pretend that it's fine. I'm just quiet. I'm just tired. I'm just tired. But it actually really hurts your feelings. It's bothering you. It upsets you. It makes you feel like you're starting over repeatedly. I am seeing, I think this is a moth. Which is interesting because at first it felt kind of like a butterfly, but then I was like, but then it got dark. They were showing me like the moon comes up and then it becomes nighttime. This feels very much like a moth now that but there's something unique about this moth. I can't really tell if it's a specific type or maybe if there's just a lot of energy behind it, but I am seeing moth. Oh my gosh, wow. That's all you guys because wow, I was fine before this and this is sucking the life out of me. Ooh, man. That's what this resourceful card is, the resourcefulness here. I am talking to a group of you who have always had to be resourceful, always. You haven't gained this skill because it's something you wanted to have. You developed this skill as a result of not having a choice. And it feels like to me that no matter, you know, that's why you want to have this in-person thing. That's why you want to share the experience. It's like you want to be in person or on the phone or whatever, because it's like you want that connection with someone. It's almost like if you have Aries in your chart, you might really resonate with the Aries reading too. It's almost like, guys, oh my God. Like you want someone to really understand you. The Aries reading, or not the Aries reading, I'm sorry. I wanted to say Aries for some reason. What was it? It was a collective that I did. And there was this theme with the collective of feeling unseen, feeling forgotten, feeling, unrecognizable, but more in like a negative way. I'm kind of getting that here, but a little bit different. It's not that you don't feel seen. It's like you don't feel understood. There's a lot of these wounds coming up for people right now, and I would bet that it's Chiron conjunct the sun, just really shedding light on our wounds. And having that be in Aries, it's a lot of these wounds to do with the self, right? You don't feel understood, you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard, you don't feel accepted. It's a lot of that type of energy here. So I feel like that's why maybe you wanted to, or why I was at least picking up on that energy, which is like, I want to do this in person. I want to be able to explain. You want to be in person so you can hear someone say like, that's insane, you know, or for someone to be like, wow, that's so crazy. Like, what happened? Like, how did you XYZ? There is this hardened portion of you that had to, the way that I feel it is, grow up really fast, or again, become something very quickly because you didn't have a choice. Okay, let me see if I can bring up anything else here. I am seeing a key. You might be moving, but for a lot of you, what I'm seeing is that this is a key to a closet or like an attic. I feel like something has happened to you recently. Okay, when I say the word recently, what I mean is that within the last year, very specifically in 2024, oh, you guys are starting a new cycle. That's why. For some of you, I feel like, okay, there's a couple different things. Everyone is on a different timeline. Everyone experiences time very different, as you know. If you're, you've been here before, you know me, then you know time, energy, gender. These are all fluid things. So you could be on, a very different journey from the next Taurus to the next Taurus, so on and so forth, right? But for some of you, what I'm getting is that this is the brand new beginning of a 9-year cycle. It's the beginning of a new 9-year cycle, which is pretty... The clearing, oh my God. I think the whole cycle thing is pretty interesting because I don't normally get stuff like that. A 9-year cycle, wow. Yeah, you're beginning again. New, we start over, circle the drain. And you're choosing to start over instead of circle the drain. That's why. The attic with the key, or the closet. I feel like it's attic. It's so interesting because there's a lot of times where like I did a reading not that long ago. I think I posted it here on YouTube, but it had a lot to do with the basement, which I thought was more the unconscious. But now that we're talking about the attic, I think that's really interesting that the key opens up the attic. But you're not going in to open it to see what's in there. You're shutting it and locking the door with that key. You're like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want this anymore. God. Ooh, the emotions. I don't want this anymore. You have been through something recently that is, dare I say, traumatic even. What I'm hearing is like, it's tragic. It's so tragic. You feel like you're saying goodbye to something. And maybe you are. Maybe you're like actually moving, or maybe the move is more symbolic, right? Where you're moving into this new version. I feel like new version of something, new life, new something. Hold that thought. Okay, sorry, cats just go crazy when I come in here. The energy just like makes them literally run around the house. I feel like you're saying goodbye to something and it's really hard, but it came with a lot of struggle, of strife is what I'm hearing. Because you have 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and the Magician here. I heard never lose sight of the vision. Never lose sight of the vision. Don't ever lose sight of the vision. That's what this energy is for me. Don't ever lose sight of your vision. Do not. There is this energy of almost being like born anew, crafted from something. I don't know how to explain this. Like here in Temperance, you have this bowl of water. It looks like she's coming up and out from this bowl of water. And I think that's really interesting because it almost feels to me like you are something, it's like, it's giving like a phoenix energy, like crafted from these, or birthed rather, right? Because I've been doing a lot of rebirth videos, being birthed for the first time, almost like in this shape. Because then you have this cactus, which I feel like cactus versus this like bowl of water is, you know, stark difference. But this for me, I mean, Temperance in general is always going to be this energy of it's patience and it's alchemizing something. Like I said, never lose sight of the vision, right? But now with the water here in this deck, it almost makes me feel like you are being birthed like anew, crafted from these like waters of the divine. Like it's almost giving me the sense of like holy water. It feels like you've been what is that terminology? Baptized. I was like, why can't I think of this? Like baptized. That's what that like bowl of water feels like to me. Feels like a baptism. There's so much that has gone through here. Like there's so much that has happened. And it has been a struggle. Things have been difficult for you in a certain area of your life. There's been a lot. And I feel like, again, there have been good things that have come from it. But right now it feels a bit begrudging. Like with the King of Pentacles, like I said. That feeling of like, yeah, you know what, I had to sacrifice to get this. It almost makes me feel like, you know, I feel like what you're doing, this feels like pretty specific for some of you. I feel like what you're doing is kind of having these conversations in your head where like you need an outlet of some kind, I think. You need an outlet of some kind, or you have to like get these things out onto paper or say them out loud, even if it sounds silly, even if it sounds weird to do it. to like kind of have those, like, I feel like you guys are having these imaginary, like, kind of pretend conversations in your head, like someone's gonna say something to you about XYZ, you know, and then you kind of have this like sparring where you're like, yeah, you know what I had to do to get that? That's how it's coming to me. You know what I had to do to get that? It's, oh my god, like Batman, the Joker. You want to know how I got these scars? That's what I'm hearing. You want to know how I got these scars? You guys, I mean, they're showing me the Nine of Wands too. Battle-worn, weary, bruised, broken. Truly. I kind of want to get one of the alchemy cards. Oops, sorry. That was very loud. You guys have not had an easy go at it. Things have not been easy. Things have not been simple by any means. And I think that whatever has recently happened to you guys is something that it's almost like it changes everything. It's giving me this vibe of like, oh, I have to tell you this thing in person, and then you go to like hang out with your friend and you're like, so like I'm moving across the country. Like that's what this is giving. For some of you, this could be getting ready for like a Saturn return. As I said that, is that Saturn? Hold on a second. A bunch of them fell out. I'm not taking them all. Okay, no, it's not. It's a different planet. It's Mars. I was just going to be like, bro, stop it right now. But that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. You meet up with someone and you're like, yeah, so I'm going to make this really major life decision. Like, just so you know, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to move to, I don't know, Europe and like whatever. You know what I mean? Sap of the moon plant. Very interesting. We're going to have to see what this one is all about. Sap of the moon plant. I just feel like, and which is interesting because remember I was saying like the moth, like the nighttime was coming to me, and this is all nighttime. I feel like you guys are going through a really big transformation. It is no small thing, and something happened to, again, rouse something in you to bring you to this conclusion. And maybe that's a part of why you wanted to have this conversation in person too, right? Like, or have this unfolding, if you will, because maybe you want to tell a friend or something like that, and you want to tell them the story, and you're going to be like, this is insane thing that happened, and I realized XYZ about myself, and you're, coming to this conclusion, coming to this, I don't know, like point in the road, this fork in the road almost, where you're like, and then I realized, and then it's like you plug in all the pieces for your friend, and then you're like, and so with that being said, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna change XYZ. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you're coming to some sort of very shocking conclusion about yourself. And I think that it's not even just going to be shocking to you, but I think it's also something that is going to shock, one person or friends or whomever in your life that hears it. And for some of you, this won't be so drastic and crazy, like, it's not going to be that wild for every single one of you. But what I'm getting for someone, or maybe a couple of you specifically, is that yes, it will be that wild. But for some of you, it's more so you're making these just bigger, profound discoveries about yourself. And whether it's a move across the country or quitting your job or whatever, you're making these big decisions. It's like, oh, I've decided to just say, fuck it, I'm not doing my business anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm moving across the country to go live a life I never got to live. Like, that's what it feels like you're doing. Because again, like I said with the attic, right? It's like moving. You're leaving something behind, because they're not showing me that you opening the door and like looking through things. Things are already packed, and they're showing it to me backwards. Things are already packed, they're in boxes or whatever in this attic. And then you're like, all right, we're good. And they're showing me you walking kind of backwards, like pulling the door shut, like behind you kind of, right? Like you walk out, you take a look in, and you're like, that's that. Like, that's the end of that cycle. That is the end of that cycle, and you're starting a new 9-year one. And then you close that door, you take that skeleton key, you lock it up. I'm seeing almost like this, like the ceramic type, like doorknob that kind of like jiggles a little bit there. It has a certain kind of like sound quality to it, and you're like, that's that. Yeah, like that's what it feels like. You cannot make it up. The next card is dissolution. because something is dissolving, something is coming undone, and that is leading you to something else, right? And it's not lost on me that there is this cup, kind of like, this is giving me almost like Ace of Cups energy here. Let's take a look in the book and see what these things say, first and foremost. And then we'll see if anything else comes about. But this is the first one. I'm going to hold this up for you guys. Hopefully I can keep it in one spot. Okay. So nocturnal, sacred water of the unconscious. Hello? And I was just saying with temperance, sacred waters right here. Wow. Okay, here we go. Ready? Sacred water of the unconscious. I cannot pronounce what I assume this is a Latin version. Succu. I'm not sure. Sap of the moon plant. We're just gonna go with the main thing. I'm not cultured like that. Sap of the moon plant is an ancient substance said to be born of water. Born of water, plant, and moonlight. Oh my God. And I talked about the moth, the nighttime, and being born of water. This elixir develops in the depth of night and is thus a metaphor for the wellspring of the unconscious. When this alchemical magic is afoot, it's all about dreams. The answer you are seeking will not come from the intellect nor the opinion of others. It will surface from the depths as if rising from the ancient waters of your memory. Can't make it up. Wow. Wow. The work is to rest, restore, and awaken your celestial senses. Do this by pausing, by releasing your grip. The sap of the moon plant signifies you are in the deep territory of destiny and the imagination. This is a mythic moment. The dream is waiting to show itself, but awaits your sincere invitation. Ask and rest, all will be revealed. That could also be why I was getting that energy of like, I need to do this in person. You need to be kind of like invited in or like fully accepted, like in that moment. Do you know what I'm saying? Sap of the moon plant is said to be linked to the pineal gland and can be increased by the practice of meditation. Sitting for a few moments in the evening is especially beneficial. Nighttime. There are many names for this sacred elixir. Soma, nectar, aqua vitae, aqua nostra, and vinum ardens, to name a few. Remember, dreams are the mother tongue of humanity. Wow, track your dreams for the next 3 nights. To ponder the divine feminine. Can't make that up if I tried. Like, this is just really blowing my mind. Taurus, you guys are going through some very, like, the word that I was looking for was not subliminal, but it's, like, very symbolic. It's very deeply, like, drenched here in symbolism. It's steeped, there we go, steeped in symbolism. Wow, I'm just like, I am very much in awe. I am in awe. I really am. All right, so the 8 operations cards, that's where we are at here. We have dissolution, surrender, dissolving, and formlessness. Oh my God, you guys are getting rid of this like staple, this foundation of like who you are. All right. I'm in shock. Here, let me hold up the card. Wow. Look at all the blue also. All the blue. Flippin' beautiful. This is giving Ace of Cups as well, by the way. I think I did say that, but saying it again because it's important. All right. Dissolution is the great alchemical operation of water. Yo. It represents the form becoming formless, that which is solid dissolving into liquid. In many alchemical texts, it is the first operation and summarizes the heart of alchemy, as in the axiom solve et coagula. I was like, why does that sound weird? Dissolve to unite. Wow. It's giving death and rebirth. For our purposes, it is important to know dissolution involves a dissolving of definitions, identities, and labels. The strongholds of the ego drown in the emotional realm of water. We dive back to the beginning, the prima materia. This operation is humbling and disorienting and oftentimes feels as though the self we knew has disappeared. Did I not talk about how it is you completely, like getting ready to just release that cycle, right? Who are we now? How will others describe us? When these questions are afoot, the alchemical magic of dissolution is underway. By surrendering to the waves, we unite with the primordial essence and return to our deepest self. Wow. Water is always in motion, much like our emotions. Dissolution requires us to let the tears flow, to soften the edges, to soak in the healing waters of our feelings. I know you guys love that. If this card appears with the drowned king, take note. Both indicate the ego is ready to be surrendered to something greater than itself. Hang on for the ride. Well, it's like, I feel like this is telling a story now. So I'm like, I kind of feel like we need to get one more. So what is dissolving? What is it that's dissolving here for Taurus? And then we got to look at the new 9-year cycle, like for sure, clearly. I feel like I need to like catch my metaphorical breath, but all right. What is dissolving for Taurus? Whoop, too many. That was like 4 cards. No. What is dissolving for Taurus? Can we sum this up into 1 card, please? What is dissolving for Taurus? It's a lot of water element for you guys being an earth sign, but I mean, you are ruled by Venus, water being feminine, right? So earth and water are very... they just are feminine here. You have iron. This is what's dissolving. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what else. I feel like there are more. Are there multiple things here? Or is it just this one? This is one story is what I'm getting. That's one group of you. Is there another group here for what is dissolving for Taurus? Because remember I said not all of you, it won't be dramatic for all of you. Is there something else that's being dissolved for Taurus? Oh, yeah. What do we have? Sulfur. Okay. Sulfur came out in the other reading I did, the collective one. So keep that in mind. You might want to watch that. That's now like the 2nd time I'm mentioning this. Okay, so let's take a look at iron here. You guys are really going through it right now. This feels very like, it's like a catalyst, like something is shifting and changing so drastically for you guys, okay? All right, magnetism, reliability, and Mars, which is funny because Mars fell out earlier. Iron is a reliable metal that can withstand great pressure. Over the centuries, we have come to utilize this metal extensively, mixing it with carbon to create the steel bridges, highways, and infrastructures that span across the globe. In alchemy, iron is associated with the planet Mars and shares its qualities of being strong, assertive, and potentially warlike. When the iron card appears, there is a call to rely only on the reliable. What truly supports you? What have you already built? Iron dwells at the center of Earth, so when all else feels lost, go inward. There's a deep magnet there that pulls you towards what is steady and true. For the moment, put your words and weapons down and let yourself be held by the structure that is already in place. Watch for planetary pairings between all the metals and planet cards. Iron and Mars appearing in one reading indicate a great conflict looms. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Mars and iron are associated with the gallbladder. Maybe time to contemplate what can be broken down and what must remain. Honestly, that tracks a lot because the gallbladder definitely is connected a lot with anger and frustration, and I was feeling that before I even started this reading. I'm not going to read Sulfur out of the book because that is in the other reading, and basically this talks a lot about how Sulfur is something that can help us cleanse, to clear, to eliminate, to extract, or like excavate something, right? It's bringing the impurities to the surface to be cleansed, to be cleared, to be removed. And so although it doesn't smell good, it doesn't look pretty, right? The transformation process looks like garbage, feels like garbage, so on and so forth. It's something that is important because look at it, there's no coincidence that what you are dissolving is this. Okay, it's the stuff that doesn't make you feel good. It's the shitty energy. I'm just gonna be real with you. It's the shitty energy that doesn't make you feel good, and it doesn't make you, it doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you filled with joy. It's like these are all those heavy garbage emotions, and I think you've been carrying with you for a really long time, right? The King of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands that we had over here. The whole don't lose sight of your vision is because you eventually wanted to get to the point where you could release and let go. Don't lose sight of that vision because that's the end goal. That's the place that you want to end up. That's the place that you need to end up so you can finally soften. That's hard. And I feel like what you're doing right now, this kind of whatever this is that you're dissolving, is kind of like difficult time, the warlike, the Mars energy. It's like you guys are moving into a period where you've like, it's like you finally are getting to that point. You're releasing that cycle. I'm hearing that this previous cycle could have been about 8 years long, which would mean that's back in like 2018 or no, 2017. So like April of 2017 maybe. Could have been an 8-year cycle that you are completing. I feel like during that cycle is where you had to be Mars-like, hardened, tough, and we're talking about dissolving like titles and labels as well, right? So like, are you releasing something right now in your life that is making you question your entire identity? Who am I without this? Like the other reading said, feeling unseen, feeling forgotten. Will I be important if I no longer have this? Who will I become without this label? Who will I become without these things that I've carried with me for so long? If I'm not this hardened, begrudged King of Pentacles, who will I be? I feel like maybe what you've been through has been the identity that you've held for a really long time for some of you. And you finally reached a point where it's like, hold the vision, hold the vision, hold the vision, right? Like, I gotta get there. I gotta push through, push through, push through. But I feel like you finally hit a place where the universe, maybe spirit, for some of you, I want to say God, is almost looking right at you and saying, you can rest now. It's your turn. It's finally your turn. It's finally your turn. I feel like you carried a lot of this difficult energy with you for a really long time. And without even realizing, like I said, there was that energy where it's like you finally get there and you look back and you're like, oh, that's what I was doing that whole time. And I'm so mad. It's almost like it's romanticizing the suffering, right? Which has come up in some other readings. It's romanticizing the suffering. Like, when you're like, all these horrible things happened to me, and it's like, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And it's like, no, it made me traumatized. It hurt. It made me distrust people. It made me not see myself clearly. Like it ruined my perspective of who I am and the world, and it made me hardened. It didn't kill me, but it didn't make me any better. And that's kind of like what I'm feeling here is like, you have finally come to this really big decision. Maybe it's multiple different things. But like, I think that it's shaking up the way that you view yourself now. You're going from this, look at this, the red, the orange, so again, very Mars-like, right? Tough, difficult energies, to all of this blue related to the nighttime, related to water, these sacred waters, literally born of water. You worked really hard to get to this point. Really hard to get to this point. You never lost the vision. And now it's like, I've only lived my life working towards that. I've only lived my life working towards, you know, in the sense of survival, or in a sense of how am I going to do this? It's like you've always lived this very masculine centered maybe life. How am I going to survive? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to get through this? And all you've done is kind of put your head down and kept your eye on the prize, right? Don't lose sight. Don't lose sight. Hold the vision. Hold the vision. And you've finally gotten to a point where it's like you've lost a lot, I think, and now you're reevaluating, and you're like, all this should happen, and I don't like the way that it happened. I don't like that it hurt, looking back on things. And it's like, I understand why now. Maybe that's what this is feeling like, right? Why it's so big. It's like, I understand now what I have to do, and I hate that I had to deal with all of that to get here. So it's like you're both kind of like, there's an understanding of why something or multiple things had to happen to you, but there's still that resistance and kind of like that bitterness, right? The begrudgingly, do you know what I had to sacrifice to be able to do this? Do you know what I had to give up to be able to get here? You know, it's like, I think that you guys look at it as like, what good is this when I had to drag myself through the depths of hell to get to it? And it's almost like there's just, it's a very hardened, begrudging, kind of jaded feeling that I'm getting here with this energy. Wow, you guys are, whew, okay. Let's take a big deep breath for a second, okay? We're gonna clear this. I wanna look at the new cycle. I don't wanna look at this anymore. Let's look at the new cycle instead. Wow. This was really powerful. I want to give you guys like a second, okay? Like I said, take a deep breath. We're doing this together. You and I are in this together. This is unfolding in real time. Okay? Whew, okay. Where do I want to go? I'm gonna go here, I think maybe. Where do I want to go with this? There's a lot of options. Alright, let's see if I get anything out of here. Tell me about this new 9-year cycle. So that would put you to what? 2034? That's crazy to say out loud. Okay, so karmic partner in reverse. I think you guys have released a lot of people that no longer fit in your life. Yeah, with destruction in reverse. I'm hearing, I let the tower fall. I let the tower fall. Yeah, you can't make that up. Karmic partner and destruction in reverse. Destruction is like the tower card for this deck. I let the tower fall. You want to be a karmic person in my life? Go for it. That's kind of the energy I'm getting here for you. You kind of, like I said, there's a bit of a surrendering. Like there is some resistance towards kind of, again, how you got to this point. But as far as these individuals, you're like, I had to let them go and it hurt. It's like, it's anger because the right thing rarely feels good. I'm going to say that again. The right thing to do rarely feels good. And then after that, you have pause. I get this feeling like this cycle is not going to be a quick, like, 1, 2. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, you're stepping in and boom, there you are. Because like I said, everyone's on a different timeline. It's going to feel like the way that I'm hearing this is like that you're like dragging some of this with you into this new cycle. It's not going to be an instant, just like clear, clean slate, okay? You have divine, feminine, and solitude. And did I not just say over and over that, oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, This new cycle is about forgiveness. For you, giving yourself forgiveness. Divine feminine, solitude, and then you have forgiveness. This new cycle is where you live as unapologetically you. That's what this is. You live as unapologetically yourself. Look at how her back is turned in both of these, right? Facing away towards the sunset or towards the water. You can't see this person's face either, right? They're shadows, the silhouettes. It's like, I turn my back on all those things. You're stepping more into these things instead. Stepping more into your divine feminine. Stepping more into solitude. Stepping more into this forgiveness. This is where the healing begins, is what I'm feeling and hearing. This is where the healing begins, okay? This is where the healing begins. I just split the deck. No way. Split the deck to fresh start with ascension, or ascending rather, at the bottom. Can't make it up. This is your healing era, truly. You may have thought that you were healing before, but what you were doing was releasing and releasing and releasing. That's what you were doing. You were learning to let go. You were learning to release. You were learning to say goodbye to things, right? We're not there anymore. You're actually officially stepping into this 9-year cycle of what I'm hearing is like achieving. I'm hearing milestones. I'm hearing like mile marker. There are things happening in your life that really are these like unprecedented, very unique. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom with the 3 of Swords in reverse at the bottom. This new 9-year cycle is all about you getting your like dues, like what you're owed, pretty much. This is a new beginning where you learn to release and let go with this 3 of Swords, right? And notice the way that I'm holding them too. I didn't realize that. It's like here to here. Because that's how they are if I'm facing them, right? Which is here to here. So it's like release, let go. And as we move through this energy, even though it's tough, like I said, I feel like you're releasing something. You're coming to a conclusion about yourself. Again, like all these things happen. And now like that's the way that I want to like word it. That's the type of feeling it's like a conversation, like a bits and pieces where it's like, and then I realized that I was XYZ. And I'll give you some examples like, and I wasn't living for myself, and I wasn't really being me, and I wasn't doing what I wanted, and I was working a job that I didn't like. I was pretending to be somebody that I wasn't. Like that's what I'm getting. Those are kind of the examples that are coming to me. So it's like, again, this kind of acceptance, it's not as easy as like you accept it so you're cool with it. It's like coming to the acceptance still hurts. Coming to that pinnacle moment of acceptance still feels bad. And 2 things can be true at once. It can feel really shitty and still be the right thing for you to do. Hence, Ace of Pentacles. Ascending doesn't feel good, right? That's like the sulfur over here. Ascending doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when Spirit makes us look at all the ways in which, we're hurting. It doesn't feel good. But in the end, is it worth it? In the end, is it something that allows for more room to fit the things that you do want? Yes. I did not anticipate this being an hour-long reading. What's in the 9-year cycle for Taurus? Okay, hold on a second. We're shifting. Hold on a second. We are shifting. This is I'm starting to feel like there's like love messages coming through. So hold on, bear with me. Love messages. Interesting. This is mostly gonna be for those of you who are already in relationships. Not like a new situation. I'm trying to think how I want to... It's so hard to tell. Hold on. Let's do this again. For a lot of you, like I said, it does feel like you're already in a relationship, but if you're not, take it as it resonates, of course. Any love messages here for Taurus? Honestly, what I'm feeling is like something that you're going through, for those of you who are already in relationships, it is strengthening your connection, or it's strengthening the bond that you have with somebody else. This person is watching you become this like version of you. Like, you're not only becoming this version of you for the first time, but someone else is also bearing witness to a brand new version of you that they've also never seen, is what I'm getting. Like, they have not had the privilege to see you like this. So it's new to you and it's new to them. It's just completely new, uncharted territory. Is there something here for these love messages? Interesting. I'm not getting anything from that. Let me see if I can pick up anything else, maybe with the scrying here. Because I don't like any of the decks that I have. Like, nothing makes sense. Nothing feels like it's drawing me in. I'm getting this something about family here with these love messages. Something about family. Some of you, there could be a new addition to your family in the form of like a niece or a nephew. I'm feeling nephew with this. And for some of you, this is like, for some of you, this is not blood family either. It's like you're not like real life adopting, but like adopting someone into your life, or like your inner kind of like circle, sort of, so to speak. Yeah, I'm feeling nephew, something about a nephew. Or you could just be rekindling a connection, getting closer to like a nephew, or maybe nephews. I don't know. But I feel nephew more than I feel niece. It's definitely nephew. So yeah, for some of you, you're strengthening a connection that is already there. And for others of you, it could be a new addition to the family. But honestly, I feel like that's going to be more rare. I feel like if anything, the nephew thing is going to be those of you who are just kind of like, the nephew has already been born. It's not a baby, but this is like this younger nephew that is becoming a part of your life. You're becoming closer to them. You're rekindling something with them. Maybe they're coming back into your life, not necessarily coming into your life. Do you see what I'm saying? But there is this like strengthening of family, whatever you consider family to be, because you really are coming to this point where things are very different for you. It's uncharted territory, and this bond that you have with someone else, this connection or relationship you have with someone else, is strengthening. And I feel like there could have been a part of you that was afraid to show them, you know, this side of you, because it's like, well, who am I outside of what I do or what my job title is or whatever? It's like, who am I underneath everything else that I've built up? Because through this whole division, it sounds like it's something that you've really had to just like put your head down and work through. That's been really difficult for you. And it feels like it's been trial after trial after trial after trial, you know? So this feeling for me is that you may have thought, this is going to ruin my relationship. Or this is going to ruin me in some type of way. But instead, whether it's relationship or it's just the people around you, they respect you more, they value you more, and they actually see you, again, in a very different light, in a positive way, where they understand you, which is essentially the whole entire point of the video, right? There was the wanting to connect, wanting to unravel, wanting to kind of let everything come apart slowly and naturally in this reading, instead of, you know, doing the work ahead of time and then telling you. It's like we wanted the experience to be had with someone. So it's kind of like, if that's what you were looking for, is to feel more understood, to feel more seen, to feel more like, again, like unapologetically and authentically you and accepted for that, you are getting that. Keep in mind, like I said, some of you guys will be on these different timelines, could be past, present, or future. But that's the only thing I'm really getting for love here, is that whatever you are experiencing, it is deepening and strengthening a connection you have with somebody else in a romantic way, or in a romantic setting, is what I heard. This is really like, it's really shedding layers. It's like, this is vulnerable for you, and the other person can see how vulnerable it is for you, and they respect that, and they're looking at you like with love, with awe. They're like, you're doing really good. Like, this is hard, and I know it's hard, and you're doing a really great job at navigating this. That's actually very sweet. Okay, and I think that is everything for my Taurus people. Wow, we really did go through a journey today. I hope that helps. I hope that you guys got everything you needed from this reading. Hope you enjoyed. If you resonated at all, of course, leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. You know the deal. Like, share, subscribe, so you can get notified of all my future upcoming videos. And I'll see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye.